Shazam is a new movie directed by David F. Sandberg, and this film stars Zachary Levi, Asher Angel, and Dylan Jack Grazer. Shazam is a character from the DC Comics, and his alter ego is Billy Batson. Asher Angel plays his character named Billy Batson, and Billy Batson is a foster kid that's been dodging families because he's been trying to find the whereabouts of his mother. And then one time he gets arrested, and they offer him one final chance to be adopted by a family. So he decided to accept this offer, and he gets adopted, but then he has a hard time living with this lifestyle. And then one day at school, he notices that his foster brother is being bullied. He confronts these two bullies, and they chase him to a train station, and this train station transports Billy Batson into a different layer or a different realm, and he meets this elderly wizard by the name Shazam. And Shazam tells Billy Batson that he is his champion. He is the guy that can take on the mantle as Shazam. So Billy Batson accepts the mantle of Shazam. He says the word Shazam, and it transforms him into an adult superhero, and he must learn how to become a superhero from then on. And we have the movie Shazam. David F. Sandberg is one of the directors I'm really putting my eyes on, because he directed a film called Lights Out and Annabelle Creation. Both of those horror films were one of my favorite films in that year. When David F. Sandberg was on this film, I'm like, okay, I'm really intrigued on what kind of take he's going to bring to Shazam. And after watching this movie is actually a good time, a really great fun time in the theater. This film worked in so many levels that this film is self-aware that it's fun. All of this works well with the development of Shazam, who's being played by Zachary Levi. There's lots of humor revolving around Zachary Levi's character, that Zachary Levi's performance elevates this film. He's basically the quintessential thing that made this film what it is. And that is the primary reason why this film is considered to be fun. Zachary Levi was just phenomenal with this role. He was fantastic. He really brought the charismatic, childish characteristics with this character. Perfectly works. Another thing I wasn't expecting, this film was actually funnier than I actually expected. Billy Batson was developed really well. The story revolving around his character worked. His story revolving around him trying to find his mother, it really brought some emotional tension to it, and it divided the audience to the point where you could either hate him or love him in the beginning of the film. Every character doesn't really need to be liked. Every character doesn't really need to be rooted for. The character has to earn its audience respect. For a film that does that, that's good writing in my eyes. Asher Angel did a really good job of performing his character. His wardrobe was similar to Billy Batson in the comic books. Thinking about this movie is like a love letter to fans. And there is a character that is like a love letter to fans. This character is being played by Dylan Grazer. He plays his character Freddy. Freddy is Billy Batson's foster brother, and they have their ups and downs, but there is great chemistry development with their characters, great moments that they have. And also, I feel like this character is more relatable to the fans. I feel like that he's pretty much the fan in us. There are so many moments in this film that make references to the films that happened before it, like Wonder Woman, Aquaman, BVS. I love how this film acknowledged the events of BVS and Man of Steel. So Dylan Grazer delivered some humor lines as well, and I thought that he would be like an irritating character, but he actually becomes a delightful character, a likable character, and a good supporting character for Billy Batson. And I really liked every single scene that he was in with Shazam and how they was interacting with one another, their camaraderie. Every time they was on screen, I was just cheesing and laughing. I really love that its family dynamic is one of the main focuses of the film. Why I love DC, because they still continue of keeping, moral themes, and for this film Shazam, its family dynamic was the strongest point in this movie that really held this movie together. This film is not particularly perfect or any way. Most of the problem I have with this film is the villain. The villain was very weak, and he's being played by Mark Strong. He plays his character named Sirvana, and his main motivation or his plot, he wants to have the powers of Shazam, but the film never explained why he wants the power of Shazam. What does he want to do with the powers of Shazam? There is this potential backstory revolving around Sirvana and revolving around his family, but there is some good opportunity for execution. But after that first act, there is like a big pause, and his characters kind of felt stale and wooden and felt pointless. Mark Strong's performance was going by the script, but the writing revolving around his character was just poor. And the last thing that really dogged this movie down is its tonal shifts. There's times where the film sort of shifts tone. Like, it's really inconsistent. There's times where the film will have like an emotional moment, and when you hear it the first time, the score doesn't align with that scene. Like, there is a sequence where there's supposed to be an emotional scene, but the score doesn't really match it, and I'm like, and most of that flawed deficiency revolves around the third act, because there is this third act. I don't want to go into full details, but there's a shift in tones to funny, serious, funny, serious. And the last but not least has to do with Zachary Levi's performance revolving around the character is required to show that he is serious. And the way that Zachary Levi showcases it's kind of cringy. I have a picture right here. The way he frowns up his face, it's like he's overselling it. He's doing too much. Hopefully going forward he can, correct it a little bit, but there is times where he tries to frown up his face when there is a scene that requires some seriousness, and it just doesn't work. I have a hard time buying it. But outside of all these flaws, most of the flaws is negated because this film is self-aware of its flaws. The film is primarily focused on Shazam and family. So this movie is going to get a positive rating. I'm going to give Shazam a Christian Bale Batman. This is a really good movie. You should go out, take your family, and go see. You will have an enjoyment. You will have a good time. And the best word to describe this movie is exuberant. I had a good time with this film, and you will too. So go see Shazam. And this film comes out April 5th. So yes, so if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I will have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You have been warned. Till then, ciao.